What has befallen me? Why can I not hold my true form? It feels like an eternity to get home on foot like this. How shameful, having to walk up to my own castle on human legs, even if it isn't that far up the road. I must press on. It's so very cold. At last. The servant's entrance never looked so appealing to me. Just a bit farther, out of the tree line, and I'll be home. Now what is this? Who is that hurrying toward me? Briar. Excellent. Lend me your shoulder, will you? I need help just to walk inside. What? Briar? Why are you pulling me away? Slow down. I can't walk very fast. What's wrong with me? I honestly don't know. But why are you dragging me into the forest? What? How? How could anyone have overtaken my castle? I have the strongest guards, the best defenses, and the most loyal mages. Stars above. It's happened. I've been betrayed by my own. That is what happened, isn't it, Briar? It's as I feared. Even though the full force of armies and mages is so far from here, their influence has inspired uprisings, even when the odds are against them. Were I at my full strength, in my true form, I would have... No? What do you mean, no? How can you doubt my strength, Briar? You're my valet. You've polished my claws, scrubbed my scales, felt the heat of my fiery breath. You should know that I embody raw power. What was that? Speak up. Stars, I do not need this snark from you right now. But to answer that very impertinent quip, no. I'm not powerful at the moment. I'm merely incapacitated. I can barely keep up with you, and you are struggling to help hold me on my feet. Where are you even taking me? A cave, you say? Not that I'm not thrilled at the prospect of shelter, however primitive, but will they not send out scouts looking for us? They're still waiting for me to return. Good. That gives us a bit of a head start, at least. I feel utterly dreadful. I wonder how long they'll wait to see my customary gout of fire lighting the sky to signal my approach. What's that? Speak a bit louder. I'm having trouble understanding you. That is true. Ildar's kingdom is far enough away. Perhaps they'll think I'm staying there, since I left on a whim in the first place. That would give us an advantage, if you could even call it that. Briar, how did you know to meet me where I was? I never used the servant's entrance. Was it by chance? You saw my aura approaching? But it no longer looks like mine. I've never seen my own aura so dimmed and discolored. It almost looks human. How could you possibly know it was me? My, I chose you well. Such a discerning eye. I cannot believe that you still recognize my aura even in this state. But then, you spend more time with me than anyone else has over the years. Oh, I only wish that I could answer you, but I do not know what afflicts me. I was gone a far shorter time than I expected. Ildar, he essentially threw me out of his throne room. It was quite embarrassing. But I was not attacked. I was not waylaid in my flight home. But so shortly after I took to the skies, I began to feel my inner fire choking. I grew weaker. My eyesight was failing. I became so cold. It is miraculous that I managed to make it as far as I did before having to land. Well, crash and revert to my human form. Even now I feel so cold. I've never been so cold. Yes. A simple fire has never sounded so pleasant to me before. I would be grateful for one once we reach this cave of yours. Oh, that is good. I'm glad it is not much farther. My vision is clouded. Are we in the cave? Are we really? The ground feels much softer than I'd expect. Wait, is this a bedroll? What is a bedroll doing out in the... Oh. Is that a blanket you're wrapping around me? Where did you get that? Do I smell provisions? Briar, is my sight and smell truly failing me? Or are there crates of supplies against that wall? What is this place? By the stars. You've really been stalking this cave for that long. How did you manage that without someone noticing? I certainly didn't. Oh, a fire. Yes. Yes, stoke it, Otter. Oh. I know that they will be watching for my return, but this cave is still so close to the castle. Will they not find us? Veiling spell at the entrance. How... Briar, you are no mage. How is that possible? Oh, what? You sneaky little valet. Stealing provisions, stockpiling a cave, eavesdropping at rebellion meetings. and thieving a veiling crystal from one of my own mages. I undervalued you, girl. Ah, yes. Hot tea sounds life-saving. I cannot believe you even have tea out here. So, you've been aware that my mages planned to turn on me all this time. Never once told me. Why is that? Did you not think me capable of fending them off? Without the full support of the army heading our way, I doubt they would... Well, actually, I don't know what I would believe anymore. It is just as I told Ildar. You humans have proven more capable than even us dragons, with the right magical ability. I never dreamed that I would be helpless and in the care of one myself. My valet of all humans. Well, no. That does make the most sense. You have been tasked with my care from the beginning, have you not? Though that does not ensure loyalty, yet you are giving it to me. I do hope that if you had planned to hand me over to the mages, you would have let me walk right in and be captured. In this condition, there is little I could do to defend myself. I want to trust you. I have, with every other task I've given you before. But that trust was out of ignorance and arrogance. I expected you to obey because it is the order of things, but I now value trust as something to be earned and exchanged. Gods, my hands are cold. My feet as well. Is this what it's like to feel human? Truly human, I wonder. I've never had to hold my hands above fire with caution before. It is more surreal than I can describe, having to rely upon the heat to seep into my flesh, rather than wielding it at will from within. I do not know what this means. In my head, it's spinning. I need to lie down. Close to the fire. Oh, you even have pillows. What a resourceful girl you are. What are you... Oh, I see. No one's ever had to rub me down to keep me warm. It's so strange. Oh, what's happening to me? Will this be my end? Is this what becomes of dragons whose inner fire dies out? Do we die like this? Wrapped in human skin, with only the vestiges of our dragon features clinging to who we once were? Briar, why are you helping me? In your eyes, have I not been your captor? The one who bought you like cattle when you were but a youth, simply because you were prettier than the others. Used you to do my bidding for the most menial of tasks. Trained you to obey like you are no more than an animal. I would resent that, were I you. Are you so shocked at my words? No, I've seen you differently these last months. Have you not noticed how much less I've required your services? Oh, yes, that explains how you had enough time to create this little haven. I'm glad that it led to something good. You're helping me because I've become kind. Because I've been saying please and thank you. And giving you time to yourself. Oh, how tragic. That basic civility is what endeared you to me, when I've withheld it for so many years before. I wouldn't call my actions kind, Briar. I just began to see you as a person, rather than a vessel for my will. After hearing the reports of what the mages were doing, and the determination of your kind to take back their freedom at any cost, I began to see things from their perspective. I've begun to realize that power comes in many forms, and power in itself is not a birthright to dominate. This world belongs to all of us. Not only the strongest, but all living beings. Not a single one has the right to claim ownership. We used to share this earth with each other. Dragons once lived in harmony with humans. Did you know that? Yes, can you believe it? Long ago, there were not as many of us. We lived in our own colonies, and even traded with humans. Our holds were natural. Minerals, or creatures for pets, or even trivial things like pebbles or shells. But then, more and more of us began to hoard man-made treasures. The metals and gems of the earth, twisted and formed by the craft and skill of mankind, into the most gorgeous items. Our greed for that which is beautiful but unnatural led us to betraying your kind when you were at your most vulnerable. Oh, yes, please. The tea. It's warming my insides so pleasantly. Thank you, Briar. Have you never heard this before? I'm ashamed to say, I never even wondered how much of your own history you might know. You have heard of the Razor Edge War, have you not? Of course. That encourages me. It seems impossible for that to not have been passed down all this time later, for how impactful it was. Both sides enlisting dragons to fight in their battles, only for victory and defeat to change hands to the point of a stalemate. Both sides were matched too perfectly with magic and dragons on the field. What many humans don't know about that war is that it was when dragons en masse became fascinated with the creations of humans. We'd known about their inventiveness, but then we were immersed in their armies, watching their forges, wearing their weapons, seeing the beauty of their craftsmanship, and we craved it for ourselves. In the short respite of years after the truce of the Razor Edge, we dragons agreed amongst ourselves that the next time humans waged war and asked for our aid, we would turn upon them. And thus began the Bleeding Souls. The war that nearly eradicated your kind. Surely you know of the Bleeding Souls War as well. Yeah. So many humans slaughtered, imprisoned, enslaved. And many humans turning against their own out of desperation, siding with the stronger power and becoming willing subjects. My kind has shaped this world into one where fear and subjugation are worn as badges of honor. as if reveling in the weakness of others makes one stronger. If anything, it is pathetic. I've lived as such all my life. I never even thought to consider you humans as living beings, feelings or motivations of your own outside of serving us. But when I heard of the Great Western Nest, of how the humans were chanting child for child, I understood. It was unnerving, angering even. Yet I felt their pain, the truth of how many of their children and people we have snuffed out by treading upon this entire earth as if we alone own it. I cannot explain what chord within me was struck by that realization, but it hurt. It still hurts, Briar, because now I do not know how to make any of it right again. How can anything I do even come close to soothing over the damage that my kind has done? Were you to kill me now and drag my body back as a prize, I would not fault you. It is what I deserve. Yet even that, I fear, would be too little. Listen to me, rambling on like a guilty man before the gallows. But that is the truth of it. I have had to conceal these feelings, act as all my fellow dragonkind to avoid suspicion. And when I did try to open up to one of them, my closest and oldest friend, he would hear none of it. I was cast out. As much as I wish to bring about change, I fear for Ildar, my friend. He's like my brother. In what man would not act to save his brother? I fear what will become of him, what will become of all our kind, if we allow our arrogance to blind us until the killing blow is falling. I'm so very cold. Having a conscience is exhausting in its own right. But now my body is failing me. What was that? Briar, are you weeping? Is this where you confess that you're going to hand me over? No? Then whatever is the matter? You're happy, but also confused. That tells me very little. My mind is fading, Briar. Try to explain it to me more clearly, please. Oh, your hands are so warm. Ah, I see. I understand. You don't know what to do either, rather than staying by my side. Well, whatever you decide to do, I support you. You deserve better than remaining with me yet again, when you could side with your own kind. But I am grateful for your company. Your tea and your fire, and your warmth. I never thought I'd end up like this, huddled by a fire in a cave, with my head in the lap of a human who is willing to give me a chance, if only until morning. Thank you. Should I survive, it will be due to your care. You owe me nothing, and yet you've spent weeks upon weeks building this hideaway. And you're willing to use it to shelter me rather than run from me. You precious human being. I hope one day, quite soon, to see you a free woman. As far as I'm concerned, you are